Hello friends, I'm Rob, this is Digital Wastrel, and in this video I'm going to be showing you an incredibly low effort way to paint rusty metal that still gives pretty good looking results, as you can see here. There are loads of how to rust guides out there, and honestly many are far superior to mine, but you get halfway through most of them and then they're all talking about oil paints and hairspray and all that kind of stuff. Now, these are all no doubt fantastic techniques, but they miss a core hobby demographic, one that I am very much a part of, the lazy painter. I'm going to show you how to paint rusty metal with just stuff you have to hand. You will need orange paint. So I'm using Blazing Orange, which is an old Citadel colour. I think it's out of production now. A more modern version would be Troll Slayer Orange, but I'm just using this because it's old and why not. Next you'll need a nice dark brown colour, in this case Rhinox Hide. There you go. We also need a silver, like a dark metal silver, so Lead Belcher. Finally we need a nice dark brown shade, so in this case I'm using Agrax Earthshade. Other paints, other colours are fine. If you have other brands, that's all okay. You just need orange, dark brown, nice silver, and a nice dark brown wash. And of course, most important thing, you also need a really shitty paintbrush. So we're going to be doing stippling and dry brushing and stuff like that. So don't use a nice new brush, use like an old one. Look at that. In this example, I'm going to be painting this door, which is from the Necromunda box. I've already sprayed it Lead Belcher. I use the Citadel spray can, but you can just use, you can do this all by hand, no problems. So first off, we're going to take orange. Get some of that. Now, orange is a pretty thin colour. It's going to take quite a lot of effort to get a smooth coat, but don't worry, because actually we don't want a smooth coat. You want to really water it down, make it really, really liquidy. We're not really going to need to cover it in the same way that you do when painting, you know, neat miniatures. Okay, that's a lot of water, but here we go. So yeah, this wants to be really watery, not quite a wash, but a lot thinner than normal paint that you would use. And basically we're just going to cover the whole thing. And you can see that it's kind of gathering in kind of the details. We basically want this to go around all the kind of crevices and edging and stuff like that. The orange is dry and you can see it's really patchy, with some areas of metal showing through, and it's kind of pooled around some areas, but that's fine, that's what we want. So next step is the brown. We want this a little bit similar to dry brushing, but a little bit more paint on the brush, so something like that is probably okay. So what we want to do with this is kind of half dry brush and half stipple. So yeah, we got the brush like this, and basically we're going to just kind of go like this. So it's creating kind of random patterns with the brush and kind of getting on the top areas as well. So this is kind of simulating like build-up of old crappy rusty metal. Anything that looks too much like brush stroke you can go back and change later, but generally just attack it like this. Okay, optional stage 1. If you want to add a bit more colour to your metal, like old paint, now is probably a good time to do it. So we're going to take a little bit of red. We just want to water this down normally, so not super thick, not super thin. And yeah, we're going to add the paint to the door here. Doesn't need to be a super thick layer of paint, and you probably because this has been chipped off and stuff, you don't need to take the paint all the way to the edge, so leave a little bit of the browns and the oranges around the outside. And then next up we're going to use lead belcher, and if you see the brown, there's maybe a little bit too much brown on there, so we're going to use the same technique that we used to apply the brown, but this time using lead belcher, and basically knock back the oranges and the browns, so there's a little bit more silver showing. We're going to do this around the flat areas. Once you're happy with the balance between the oranges, the browns and the silvers, we're going to now move on to more traditional dry brushing and just do a light dry brush over some of the details to basically bring back the metal on the edges. It's time for some wash. So just go super heavy on the wash, just cover everything with as much as you can get on that. When that's dry, we're going to go back over and give it one last very, very light dry brush of lead belcher. Optional extra too. You can leave it here if you want to, but you might want to give it one last dry brush of a much lighter silver just to make some of the details pop. Okay, all finished. Yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll be back soon with some more videos. Bye.